Carolyn, one for you. Grocon's in a almost unique position, probably in some ways, in terms of the impact it has on different development sectors and the ability to be developing and building and so on, whether we're talking about stadium or we're talking about office buildings, etc. With the decline in mining investment and iron ore and commodity prices declining, etc., there's been a lot of stock and faith put in a development construction-led recovery, particularly with that framework around residential, but more broadly than that. Do you see the sector as currently in the position to lead that? And Alan's presentation probably feeds into that answer a little bit, but also what needs to be done at the federal and state levels of government to better facilitate? If you had a wish list of two things, one Commonwealth thing and a state thing, what would you be doing? Yeah,
look, I think what it's clear is we've got a hole up there in the graphs that show that with that mining production construction phase coming off, that there needs to be something to fill that, otherwise we do have an issue. I go back to what I said at the beginning though, there's a piece I think for both business and consumers of understanding kind of what's the long-term plan here, and if we know what the plan is, we know where we can make our investment decisions and where we can place our money. So whether that's domestic investment from Australian businesses or whether it's companies offshore who are looking at Australia and saying, I want to make that kind of investment in Australia is a place for me. There's some parts that are absolutely receiving that investment currently, and as we've sort of said, there's 70% of the apartments in Melbourne or something, the bank can't explain who's funding that because they're not doing it, someone else is. So that part of it's good, but I think overall there needs to be that lift in business confidence that comes from understanding that the long-term game plan is there, and that people are prepared to take those longer decisions around what their future looks like. And again, that's backed up, although I heard it for the first time and was startled by it, around how many people have prepaid their mortgages out by more than 12 months. Because that in a way is saying, I'm a bit worried that I'm going to lose my job, or that someone I know is going to lose my job, and I want to make sure that I've got enough paid off my house that I've got a buffer to deal with. I mean, if you break that down, I think that's what a lot of people are thinking, and whether it's their direct job or just what does the future hold generally, and do I want to make that big expenditure on something? There's a piece there that we need to solve of saying getting it going fully enables people to have that confidence, and then back that confidence with where they place their money. And then, as I said, I think there's a business piece for that, and then there is a consumer piece for that. So planning and what is that long-term plan for the country. Infrastructure spend is a big piece of that. It'll drive a whole series of other things. I mean, I don't have a view myself about East-West Link in terms of whether it's right or wrong, but I do think the longer-term position for Melbourne needs that we need East-West Link, and we need those rail crossings, and we need some roads. The concept that we've got interest rates as low as they are, with governments in almost the best position they've been for a very long time to be able to borrow big tranches of money, and to say, actually, we're going to look at one project at a time, we can only do one thing. That piece of it, I think, is a little bit short-term and disappointing, and that's not a go at the Andrews government, or for that matter for the Napthine government, because they're only looking at one project either. It was one project for either of them, not let's do three, that Victoria needs three of those. Some leadership and some long-term planning, I think both at a national and a state level would go a long way.